must register and submit the registration slip to myself or the zoning administrator at this time. Following the public hearing, the board will conduct its monthly business meeting, at which time we will vote on the applications. You may stay and hear how the applications are decided, or you may leave following the hearing. The applicant and the town board will be sent a copy of tonight's decision. Any other person wishing to receive a copy of a decision can sign the sheet at the front of the room. To those wishing immediate knowledge of the outcome of these proceedings may call the county zoning office tomorrow morning. The procedure we will follow for hearing each application is, after the application is read, the applicant, their agent, or representative will have the opportunity to present their application, followed by any questions or comments from the board. Then all correspondence will be read. Then others in favor will have a chance to speak. Anyone objecting will then have a chance to speak. I will then ask for a summary of the board's field observations and any staff comments. Following, the applicant will be allowed a chance for a brief rebuttal if they wish. Anyone wishing to speak should use the microphone at the front of the room, state their name, and direct their comments to the board. I will then ask that all testimony be kept brief, no more than 5 minutes, and to the point. If you are testifying as a nearby landowner, please tell us where your property is located relative to the subject property. Tonight's hearing will be recorded, and the recordings will become part of the record. Comments that are based on hearsay and secondhand information, as well as slanderous or prejudicial remarks, will be ruled out of order. The board has looked at all the properties, and the record will reflect these observations. Any person affected by an administrative decision of this board has 30 days from the filing of tonight's decision to make an appeal. Such appeals shall be heard by the Waushara County Circuit Court. Information is available from the Clerk of Court's office and qualified legal counsel. The county assumes no liability and makes no warranty as legality of any construction commenced prior to the expiration of this 30-day period. Now I introduce the rest of the board. To my left are Larry Tim, Fred Gellerup, George Wilson, John Benz. My name is Roger Wagner. Terry Paukstad, the zoning administrator, is at my right. In the front of the book. First variance to be considered tonight, Patricia A. Zilke, Revocable Trust, Brown Deer, Wisconsin, has made an application for a variance in accordance with section 58-542, paragraph C, paragraph 2, and 58-823, paragraph C, paragraph 2 of the Waushara County Zoning Code to construct a 26 by 37 foot two-story single-family dwelling with walkout basement with a 10 by 20 foot concrete patio that is at the exposed basement level and a 13 foot by 13 foot L-shaped attached deck at the first level. Existing single-family dwelling and porch to be raised, coming to within 10 feet of both the easterly and westerly side lot lines, 15 foot required on a non-conforming lot, non-conforming due to lot width in the RS-20 residential single-family zone within the shoreline area. Location, a parcel of land known as Lot 11 of Juanita Plat and part of the discontinued Vivian Drive being part of the northwest one quarter of the southeast one quarter, section 30, Town of Leon, Pearl Lake, W4627 North Pearl Lake Road. Is the applicant or representative here? Would you come forward, please? State your name, please.
Mike Zilke. There you go.
And are you part of the trust, or are you representing them, or what is your relationship?
I'm the architect on this, and it's my mother who is the owner on here, so
Okay.
I'm representing her.
Okay.
As mentioned, it is my mother who's, we are looking to rebuild a new, or build a new house on this property. The property is on the north side of Pearl Lake. As mentioned, it's a 50-foot wide lot, so it's a non-conforming lot, which automatically puts us into the variance range. What we are proposing to do is to raise the existing one-story cottage with a walkout basement and a porch on the front. And what we are looking to do is propose to build a 2,400 square foot house, a two-story with a walkout lower level as well, with a porch on grade and one off the first, or I should say a deck off the first floor towards the lake. Currently, the existing cottage is about 24 feet wide, the foundation, and about 34 feet long. That includes the porch, with its nearest corner, which is about 5 feet off of the east property line. It's kind of skewed a little bit. What we'd like to do is when we build a new house, the foundation is going to be, the foundation, its footprint is going to be 24 feet wide by 37 feet long. What we're going to do is square it up with the property and bring it all back behind the 75-foot water setback, including the porch as well. On the east side of the property line, the foundation wall will be 10 feet away from the property line, which we are asking for a variance on that side. And the west side, we have a foundation wall will be 16 feet. That's off the property line. But we have a set of stairs that come down along the side, and it terminates into a porch that was mentioned, and that porch is going to be, which is on grade, is going to be 10 feet from the property line, which we're also asking a variance for as well. The 26-foot wide on the elevation on the first floor and the second floor on the west, it's about 10 feet wide. It's an overhang that comes out 2 feet. So in that general area, it is 26 feet wide, but the foundation is 24 feet wide. Excuse me. The what we have now, we're proposing to build a garage, a detached garage on top of the hill. It will be set back 35 feet from the road, or from the center line, the setback, and the closest side on the west side will be about 10 feet off the property line to the west side. The other side will be greater than 15. We have an existing septic system that falls in between the garage and falls in between the garage and the house. It was built, or I've been working with Bill Toma from Toma Excavating on this to get my ducks in a row, but he put it in back in '97. This is a summer cottage, so it's not used for a lot of time and only on weekends, usually in the summertime. So it's in pretty good shape, and our intent is to reuse the existing septic system, sign an affidavit to do so, and then add on to it to bring up to make sure that we have it up to code and up to size for the future, because we want to do this once and then wait for a while to do it. So as I mentioned, the elevations, or the width of it's pretty thin. It's only 24 feet wide. We have, and what I did on the lakeside elevation is kind of break down the scale so it's not so tall, and as it kind of steps back into the hill. And we have a lot of hip roofs around the project itself, so doing so on all sides, we are within or below the 35-foot height requirement that's says in the zoning. Let's see here. As mentioned, we have the bump out on the west side that's going to overhang the 2 feet. We have an exterior deck that I mentioned that's on the first floor. It's an L-shaped deck, but again, that only extends and it's back behind the 75-foot setback. On the back, we have a small bridge that comes out, so to speak, and what it really is doing is it's just kind of a stairs to come down the hill. It's, as my mom, gets up in age, if she's on the second floor, it's really meant for her to get a quicker path up to the garage in that situation. A few other site features we have a retaining wall right off the back, or right by the entry, that's below the bridge. We're using that to hide our propane tank that we'll have, and temporary storage of trash. We are going to, obviously there's one of the big problems with sites are water flow, and what we want to do is, we always get washouts, and what we're going to do is take a look at how to control this water, and one of the options is to do a rain garden that's on the north side of the building. And so anything past, I should say we're going to have a kind of a hard surface path from the house up to the garage. and it's kind of on the west side of the site. So on the east side up there, what we want to do is direct all this water down towards the rain garden, let it infiltrate as best it can, and then send it on its way, so we kind of control the amount of washout that we get. Similarly on the west side, not showing on the plans, but kind of do the same thing. So we're losing a few trees in this process, unfortunately, but where they are located will be within the building footprint of the garage or the house, or they're going to be pretty close to the house, and not sure if they'll make it through construction, but if they do, might propose a threat to the house, therefore. So that's about all I have on this, so be
Okay.
happy to take any questions.
We've got a few general questions for you then. Has there been a recent survey out there?
Yes.
Or do you know where the lines are?
Yeah, we did it last fall, November, I believe.
Okay. Have you talked to the neighbors in the township about this project?
We did not talk to the township yet. We have talked to our direct neighbor on the east side that's a permanent residence there.
Okay. What type of foundation, poured concrete or block?
Poured concrete.
Okay. And how far above the existing grade will the first floor elevation be?
Well, can you in what sense? I'm sorry.
Are you gonna bring in a lot of fill, in other words?
Oh, yeah. You know, I think we'll be bringing in minimal fill. We're going to have some from the garage based on how that sits within the site. We're going to be bringing in some breaker rock to make it an easy access to get down to excavate, and what we're going to do is reuse that breaker rock for fill within the garage. But right now, I was talking to Bill, and if we have some, it's going to be minimal, I think, on the fill.
I guess what we're looking at, you're not gonna raise your lot up considerably and drain water
No.
onto the neighbors or anything like that?
No, in fact, we're trying to keep all our water flow onto our site and take controls by doing it that way.
Okay. Approximately what's gonna be your finished height? Peak?
Oh, from the peak of it, well, it depends on where you take it from, but it's roughly, you know, on the upper side, it's only about 20 feet, and even on the lower side, it's probably about 30-plus feet off of on the way it slopes.
And you've got a erosion control plan in mind, the way it sounds, during construction and after, the way from what you
Absolutely, yeah.
described?
Mhm.
The garage is going to meet all setbacks then except the side lot, correct?
It'll meet the side lot as well.
It will.
Yeah, I believe the side lot's 7.5, so we're a few feet in front of that,
Okay.
or side of that.
Any other improvements planned at this time?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Outside of, I'm sorry, a new well. We'll have to get a new well, but
Okay. And you told us about upgrading the septic to use the existing one and kind of sandwich everything into
right.
where
Yeah,
they're at.
I worked with Bill pretty hard on this to make sure that we get it right before we come in here and find out that's wrong. But I think that based on its use and the size that he put in there, he's pretty comfortable with where we're at and reusing it. Our fallback plan is to, you know, we have money in our contingency to build a new one, what we have to do to make it right. So
You've got two structures down by the lake. Can you describe them and what you currently use them for?
sure, the one closest to the lake is a sauna, and that's a non-conforming building that's been around since it's built. We use it basically for a sauna. And the other one is a metal shed that's basically on grade. It just sits on the surface.
Okay. Basically, can you sum up your hardships and what's unique about the property and that would support this variance?
Well, that was a tough one when I was filling it out, but I think obviously the hardship is the width of it. You know, being 50 feet, and it really puts it down to a 20-foot building to do what we need to do. So I think that's the biggest hardship on there, and I think the way I've approached it is to keep ourselves as much by abiding the zoning restrictions as possible. And when I do go past it, do it at a very minimal amount, you know, and I think the scale of the building and where it's placed really kind of takes in consideration the neighbors as well, and the aforementioned kind of looking at how water actually flows off the site.
Okay, if an approval were granted, when would you start this construction?
This fall, probably Labor Day-ish.
Any other committee questions at this time?
Well, you mentioned you talked to the neighbor on the east. Did you talk to the neighbor on the west?
We haven't talked to them yet. They live in Illinois, and it's a little harder to get, but
They'd probably appreciate your
Yeah.
putting that in there.
yeah, I would agree.
I have one question too. Are you gonna plan like gutters or downspouts or something on the house? Because it seems like the rain garden's gonna handle the water coming off the hill, but.
Yeah, they weren't shown on the elevation at this point, but yeah, we'll have gutters probably on all four sides, and I think the intent, right now there's a, along the stairs that go along the side, there's a kind of a planter that brings the stairs out a little bit, and one of my intentions is to bring the water down through there, let it filter, and then pipe it to an area where it can get to another rain garden. But, you know, we will direct these gutters in the right direction to make sure that we're getting either in a rain garden somewhere or flowing on our site.
Or underground might work too, because we have sandy soils. so.
Right, exactly.
Okay, very good, thank you. You can have a seat. Any correspondence?
We have one letter received April 26th from the Francis M. Fontana Personal Revocable Trust. Dear ladies or gentlemen, I represent Fontana, sorry, with an F, like Montana, but with an F. Dear ladies or gentlemen, I represent the Francis M. Fontana Personal Revocable Trust, which the trust owns the land adjoining the west line of the Zilke land. Knowing the width of the lot and the family, we, the beneficiaries of our trust, have no objection to the granting of the variance requested by owners of Lot 11 of Juanita Platte on Pearl Lake. We realize that the variance will bring the new construction to 10 feet from our east lot line. We do request the agents of the board ensure the home is built according to the site plan so as to ensure no new construction is closer than 10 feet. And that's signed, very truly yours, Jerry Fontana,
Their neighbors to the west?
the west.
Okay, any one registered to speak?
There's
in
no one
favor
registered
or
to
objecting?
speak at all.
Okay, staff comments?
For the record, the board has previously been furnished with a copy of the site plan and all the other pertinent data for this application. And they have also visited this property and actually viewed the proposal and as it was staked out on site. And I'd like to take just a couple seconds to explain what variances are. They really ask for just a relaxation of the dimensional standards in the code, and it's up to the applicant to prove that there's unique property limitations, a hardship by following the code, and things that prevent the landowner from meeting those dimensional requirements. And finally, that if the variance is granted, that there will be no harm done to the public interest or the zoning code. When the committee visited the property, they noted that the existing cottage does not meet the side lot setback on the east as it presently sits. There are two buildings down by the water that do not meet side yard setbacks, and the new home can utilize the existing septic system. The committee also noted that the building closest to the water is probably a boathouse or sauna, because those are quite common on Pearl Lake and happen to be a unique feature. And the other one appeared to just be a storage shed. That's it.
Okay, that will close the public hearing for the Board of Adjustments. We will adjourn to the room directly behind us. Planning and Zoning will meet here for their public hearing. Anyone with concerns over the variance is welcome to follow us into our business meeting.
You guarantee you let it go, Fred.
I will call this meeting of the Waushara County Planning and Zoning Committee to order. This meeting will be conducted in the same manner as the applications heard by the Board of Adjustments. Please remember to keep your comments brief and relative to the matter at hand. Anyone other than the applicant or the representative wishing to speak at the hearing must have registered. Anyone who has not should do so immediately and submit the registration slip to the zoning administrator. The committee has looked at all the properties and recorded to reflect these observations. Following the public hearing, the committee will conduct their monthly business meeting, at which time we will vote on the applications. You may stay and hear how the applications are decided, or you may leave following the public hearing. Any person affected by the administrative decision of this committee has 10 days from the filing of tonight's decision to file an appeal. Such appeals are heard by the Waushara County Board of Adjustments. Information and applications are available from the county zoning office. The county assumes no liability, makes no warranty as to the legality of any construction commenced prior to the expiration of the 10-day period. I will now introduce the committee. To my far left, Joe Piaski, Larry Tim, Bob Wadle.
It's Larry Crawford.
Or Larry Crawford, yeah. And Terry Poxted, zoning administrator, and my name is Mark Kirshner. First application tonight, Troy D. Lind, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, has made application for a conditional use after the fact in accordance with sections 58-454, paragraph 31, and 58-236, paragraph B, paragraph 18 of the Waushara County Zoning Code to store a 1999 Wildwood 8 by 30-foot travel trailer in an AG General Agricultural Zone. Location, an approximately 24.31 acre parcel of land being lots 1, 2, 3, and 4 of certified survey map number 1036, being part of the north half of the southwest quarter, section 14, town 19 north, range 12 east, town of Leon, Black Hawk Road. Is the applicant present? Would you please come forward, please? Would you state your name for the record, please?
Troy Lind.
Is there any information that you can give the committee, Troy?
Really nothing more than what was on the application.
Okay. Okay. The committee has some questions. Committee questions, please?
Yeah, we have a few. Is the trailer licensed and roadworthy?
Yes, sir.
Will it be at least 100 feet from all the lot lines?
As close as I could measure. Yes, sir.
Has there been a recent survey of the lot? You sure of the lot lines?
Well, the closest one would be the road. Other than that, the lot lines we're in the middle of that section, and we're way over 100 feet.
Are there markers anywhere on the corners that you know of?
There might be one on the corner that is out by Blackhawk Road. If there was anyone that I was going to find, I would have a fighting chance of finding that one, and that's it.
Planning on any running water out there at all?
No.
What type of sanitary facilities are you planning?
I purchased a 18-gallon portable unit that would attach to the trailer, and then after we're finished using it or it was filled, then I would take that home and dispose of it.
How will you dispose of the wastes? Where will you dump it?
I'll have to take it home and figure out how to plumb it into my toilet and dump it that way.
You're planning any other buildings or structures?
No, my wife won't let me.
You tell us if the deck and the roof, that they're not attached to the trailer at all?
They are definitely not attached to the trailer.
So the trailer could be hooked onto and pulled out if it need to be.
Sir.
Any other trailers in the immediate area that you know of?
Not on my property.
Your neighbor lots? You're planning on using the existing driveway that's in there?
Yes.
You know if the property is in a managed forest law?
Yes, it is. That's right. Of the 24 acres, we have, how many set aside? Just 1 acre where the trailer is not in the managed forest land.
And you're aware of all the requirements that, and they all be met with the managed forest land?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Have you talked to any of your neighbors about the trailer being there?
No, I guess I'm assuming I had a little issue with one, that's why we're here, but
Do you have a uniform property address number, fire number there? Sign out in front that tells you the
no, I
address?
don't think we do.
Don't?
No, no.
Approval is granted when will the trailer be placed? Well, obviously, it's there, but how long has it been there?
We've had one deer hunting season in it, so we got it there late last fall.
Okay, that's all the questions I have.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Correspondence, Terry.
We have one letter in opposition from Susan Tedding, T-E-T-T-I-N-G, to whom it may, T-E-T-T-I-N-G, and it was received on April 21st. To whom it may concern, we object to the application for conditional use for Troy D. Lind to store a 1999 Wildwood travel trailer. I've attached the letter to refer also, and it's a copy of our notice. Thank you, signed Dwayne Jr. and Susan Tedding.
Anyone in favor or opposition to speak?
Yes, we have registered in opposition.
Ed Vargas, is that right? Or Bert? Okay, you want to come forward? Or you want to? And Penny. Had the Ed and Penny, right?
Okay, my name, I've never spoke with one of these, is Penny Bogard. And our land adjoins theirs to the south. Okay? And we certainly don't mind that they store their trailer there. I mean, the ordinances up here allow it in this beautiful country or county. But we are going to object to the conditional use application. And the reason is ordinances are made by counties for purposes. And I don't know why it's after the fact, why it was not up to ordinance, but I feel that he could at least build it to ordinance and I know when we first moved up here, we used to camp too. And I checked into the ordinance laws at that time. And I always knew that you had to build a garage, enclosed building with a door that you could pull down when you leave if you want to leave the camper there. And if you didn't leave it there, then you had to take it home with you. So we just feel that ordinances were made for a reason and people should adhere to those ordinances. And I think we have a lot of empty lots around our home, and where we live on the south of this is all going to be residential someday because it's zoned residential, all those lots. And if we get people coming in and you allow some people to get conditional uses, then what's going to stop other people thinking they can do the same thing? He got away with it, why not? So we just would like to see him build it according to ordinance. Okay?
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else, Terry?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Staff comments?
For the record, the committee has previously been furnished with a copy of the site plan and all the other pertinent data that was supplied for this application. And I'd like to explain a little bit about conditional use permits. There are permitted and conditional uses in every zone. Permitted uses would be a travel trailer that you use and then store in a building. That's still a permitted use. Or you could camp and take it home with you. And I don't know when you used to camp, but there is something now that they decided that if it was inspected and you had more than 10 acres of agriculturally zoned land, then there was this conditional use process that you could go through to leave your trailer there in between visits, so you wouldn't have to haul it home. There's adequate sanitary facilities, licensed and roadworthy, several conditions placed upon it. And if those conditions are met and it's deemed to be still a good neighbor, then the committee can grant the conditional use permit. They're sometimes called special exceptions, so sometimes it's easier for people to understand. Conditional use sounds kind of funny, but this would be a special exception because the conditions placed upon it allow it to be this special exception in this case. And that's exactly what we're looking at here tonight. It's the landowner's responsibility to provide all the information to the committee that shows that the use is still in keeping with the zone and the area that it's proposed for, and that the conditions placed on it will ensure that it remains a good neighbor to the surrounding landowners. When the committee visited the property, they noted that the trailer is presently located as well hidden from the road and the neighboring properties, and that a uniform address number would need to be assigned if an approval is considered. And that's it for observations and comments.
Okay. Is there anything that the applicant would like to add or anything? Okay, thank you. All right, that concludes the Troy Lind application. Next application that we will hear will be Amelia E. Montalova Ledesma, Chicago, Illinois, has made application for a conditional use after the fact in accordance with sections 58-454, paragraph 22, and 58-236, paragraph B, paragraph 11 of the Waushara County Zoning Code to place a 1989 Schultz 14-foot by 60-foot mobile home on a basement with proposed construction of a 12-foot by 12-foot attached deck on a proposed 17-acre parcel in the AG General Agricultural Zone. Location: a proposed approximate 17-acre parcel being of the southerly portion of an existing 40-acre parcel of land that is the southeast quarter of the northeast quarter, Section 34, Town 19 North, Range 8 East, Town of Hancock, County Road FF. I take it the applicant is...
I don't think so, because there's no one else here.
Exactly.
Unless they're hiding back there.
Now, the applicant did speak to me this afternoon, and that was about 3 o'clock, I think it was, or a little after 3, and he was just leaving Chicago. So, I guess, whatever, you know, we can...
Well, we do inform all applicants that there needs to
Exactly.
be somebody here,
Exactly.
and that they would run the risk of being denied if they don't show up. But we can always also allow them the opportunity, since there isn't anyone else here too, we could table it to next month's public hearing and have them appear then.
I kind of told him that on the phone. Yeah.
Time we're walking out, he'll probably
Yeah,
walk,
yeah.
Are we permitted to act on the first one and then come back if he does show up, or would it be just better to table it, Terry?
You won't make your decision until after you make your decision on this one, so, but you will close the public hearing.
Yeah, as soon as we we're gonna close the public hearing right now because he's not here, so, I don't, we've done it before, Joe, where we table it to the next meeting, and I guess,
I hate to see the guy walk in the door 5 minutes after we close.
Well,
Yeah,
if he was
yeah.
leaving at 3, that's cutting it pretty close, only 7:30 now.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I've heard it's approximately 4 hours, or depending on what part of Chicago.
Well, he told me 3 hours is what it was gonna take him to get up here, but, traffic, whatever, coming out of the city in Chicago, it's,
I think you could probably close and reopen the public hearing too if he shows up, because they're, I don't think so.
no? Yes.
Just in time.
Just
You're
in
just in
time.
time.
Just
Come-
made it.
Come right in here and sit down.
No, come right up to the microphone.
Yeah, I kind of just informed them that I talked to you earlier and that you'd be, so, yeah, that's okay. You made it just in time. Okay. You want to come up to the mic and we're gonna, both of you, or who's ever gonna do all the speaking, both of you? Yeah. That's okay, that's fine.
My name is Samuel Lopez.
And would you state your name for the?
Okay, my name is Amelia Montalvo.
I was close, so I pronounced it. I was close. Okay. Can you tell us kind of what you have in mind, Samuel?
What we had in mind, as I explained in the letter that we proposed to the village or the county, was that we wanted a place to put the mobile home where we could live and you know, raise our little daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And we really like the area, and we're very close. And so when we began this procedure, we had no idea what were the procedures to get, you know, situated out here. So when we found out that, you know, it couldn't be sitting on the same lot, then the department, the zoning department, began to guide us as to what we needed to do to come to this point before we came to the hearing board and have everything in order so that we could go ahead and place our home in the lot. So we began the procedures with dividing the lot, you know, putting it on 17 acres, putting it more towards the inside, you know, and things like that. So we gave a sketch too as to where it would be located and the size of deck
Yep.
that we were planning to put here.
Okay. The committee's got a few questions they want to ask you. Okay. Committee questions, please?
You plan on creating a separate parcel to the south for placement of this mobile home, right?
Yes, sir.
Are there other mobile homes in the area,
We don't know
your neighboring?
that we know of, que
Cualquier
si,
pregunta.
que si hay alguna otra casa móvil en la área que usted sepa.
Because, no, I don't know as much because we just came every month. We just have this.
Are there other additional buildings planned for where the trailer is going to be?
Other construction in the future?
Yeah.
No, nothing that else is gonna be planned other than that mobile home to be there. At this moment, we don't have any plans for a shed or any type of garage or anything like that.
Is there a new driveway planned?
Yes, there is. 300 feet away from the existing one that's on the other parcel.
What type of foundation will the mobile home be placed on?
We wanted to put a full foundation. I'm a concrete and excavating contractor, and so I'd be able to go ahead and perform that.
Is this a new mobile home?
No, it's not new.
What year is it?
I believe it's 89. Got vinyl siding, vinyl windows, a shingled roof.
Where's the mobile home now?
The mobile home right now is sitting at on FF. ¿Cuál es el número?
2753 FF Concrete.
Do the pictures of the mobile home accurately represent its current condition?
Yes, those were taken less than 2 months ago, about a month ago or something like this.
Will you need a new address number?
Yes.
Has the soil test been taken?
No, we were told that we didn't need one before this, but we did already contract a company that would come out and do the soil testing and apply the septic system.
Will you have a survey done? And if so, when will it be completed?
We're not certain how the process is right now for the survey, if it's required or not, because it's more than 15 acres. So I'm not sure what we need to do to proceed in that. If the county requires it, then we would go ahead and proceed with one.
Are you sure of the lot lines?
I beg your pardon?
Are you sure of the lines, the lot lines?
We're not 100% sure, but that's something that we're going to make sure that we have properly. This is my wife and our daughter.
If approval was given, when would your mobile home be placed?
We wanted to, if everything was approved, next month we wanted to begin putting in the foundation.
That's all I have.
Any other committee questions? Joe or Bob?
No.
Okay, you can have a seat. Thank you. Correspondence, Terry?
We have no correspondence and no one's registered
In favor or opposition to speak?
either one.
Okay. Staff comments?
Again, for the record, the committee has viewed all of the application materials that were submitted tonight, and they did visit the property. They viewed the mobile home on the site next door, and they saw the location where it's proposed to be placed. And again, this is a conditional use. There are, certain uses that if they, with special exceptions and conditions put on them, are allowed in the code. We explained that to the people before. I can go over it again if you want, but otherwise, I think you understand that with certain conditions placed upon this unit, then you document that it fits in with the surrounding area and it could be approved for placement there. It's not something that's just permitted outright. Sure. And then I did hear earlier today that the soils were done earlier this week. They just haven't filed the report yet, and that they are okay for a conventional system. So just the paperwork needs to follow through on that to tidy that up. And when the committee visited the property, they noted the mobile home was in relatively good condition for its age, and the proposed location is hidden from the road and neighboring properties because of all the pine trees out there. There would need to be a new driveway installed, but visibility is quite good along that stretch of road, so the driveway should be safe, and that a uniform address number would need to be assigned. That's it.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add, Sam? Step up to the mic, please, Sam.
No, we just want to thank the committee, and we really look forward to living in the community. The times that we've come up here with our families, with Sister Amelia, we've always enjoyed the scenery and the peace and the tranquility, and we hope we can be an asset to this community. And our services, like I said, I'm a carpenter by trade, and I do concrete and excavating, and we'd be glad to serve our the community in any way we can.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, that concludes our public hearing applications.
He wants to know when to shut off the recording equipment,
Did you tell them to shut it off?
the official.
That was it? Okay. Okay, roll call, show